Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're diving together into Color Cup with a lot of action. We're having an amazing win streak with 14 wins and only 1 loss, and this team also helped me gain my elo score, which was crazy, only positive sets yesterday. And yeah, other than the 14 wins and 1 loss, the other sets were all with 3-2, and this team can perform pretty nicely. So we're just gonna go ahead and spam those seed bombs now up against that safe tree. But you know what? Since I have a weird backline in the back, perhaps I need to switch out, and that was a mistake that I just did. So this video and the majority of those battles are gonna be against bad leads, so you can have a clear understanding of this team, how it works, and what you can go up ahead with this line, because the backline is extremely weak to Swampert, but here is where the Trevenant can really come handy. So at this point we're just gonna go with the discharges, because they have the Martin and the Pelipper, both of which are just gonna get one-shotted down by potential discharge. And look at that, this is why I enjoy using this electric type Pokemon over any other on this cup, because of its ability to get there and of course spam those discharges super fast, while it can also tank moves like Bubble Beam or even a Nice Beam with ease. Down they go to that final discharge, doesn't matter the debuffs, the Pancake is still delivering some lethal damage on the Mantine. Into the next one now with the Cradillo, the happy face Pokemon, and we got the Shadow Ball up against it. The amazing Ninetales from Kanto is coming into the battle, but we have another great counter to that Pokemon, and that is gonna be our Pancake. I'm not gonna call it Stunfisk at all, it is gonna be a Pancake, right? Look at its colors, look at its gameplay, at its actions, it is just a Pancake on your fry pan. And we're just gonna go ahead and pressure even more now with those Mud Bombs, spamming those Mud Bombs to victory. And look at that, they also used a shield, so they thought they could finish us off. This is not gonna happen, they're down on 2 shields, and of course now we're just gonna go ahead and pressure even more with another Mud Bomb on the Cradillo. They will farm us down, and you know what, because they're staying in, I have a feeling that my Trevenant can be the key for the end game, so I'm just gonna try to completely farm down here. Let's see if that is actually gonna be possible. No, just gonna reach the Shadow Ball, and now they leave the battle. So perhaps at the back they might hit something like a Swampert, who knows. We just won this battle very easily. Into the next one now with the Talonflame up on the lead, and yeah, that is pretty bad for our Trevenant. And we got now the Toxapex, which can go pretty clutch up against the next Pokemon. And guess what? It is gonna be an electric type. Doesn't matter though, we can still survive the launch and still pressure with those poison jabs. At this point I was like, if that is gonna be just a lance, we can survive and then still reach to the Sludge Wave. Will this be taken? Because even after the debuffs we can still nuke them down. Look at how crazily strong our Toxapex is, even up against electric types, and that is not only gonna happen against Galvantula but also against Lantern as well. So at this point, this Talonflame is gonna farm a lot of energy, so we have to bring into play our Pancake, and they went for the Brave Bird, which we resist, and at this point they are severely weak to my Pokemon here, so I'm just gonna overfarm a little bit extra, and that was pretty greedy from my part. But to be honest, after that Brave Bird we can easily farm down completely and get out of here with 100 energy, and we can just finish them off now at the back, because they have an Azumarill. So here comes the triple discharge. Will this be enough though to finish off the Azu? This is the question of the day, trainers. Is this enough? And yes it is, so down they go. No threat to survive, then farm it down, and then finish me off with a nice beam on the Trevenant. We're just gonna have the upper hand with our Pancake. Trevenant on the mirror can always be a little bit tricky, so we're just gonna stay in as long as they want to, and then we will try to catch the second move on our Toxapex if that is gonna be possible. So here it is, we can catch the Seed Bomb. That was well expected, I believe. So yeah, worst case scenario, they would do the same and we could switch at the same time. So we're just gonna take another move, another Seed Bomb. We can survive it because Toxapex is an absolute beast that can take pretty much anything in the meta. And we got Sludge Wave, able to hit for super effective the Azu. What do you have at the back, trainer? Because you responded against my poison type with Azumarill, and guess what? I'm not shielding anything, because I know that whatever there is at the back must be either another fairy or just a Pokemon Pokemon like this Talonflame, which we can just finish it off with our Pancake right after. They're shieldless, so at this point we can definitely reach to the discharge, and we just got the spoiler from the down corner that we took the win, so yeah, that is a solid victory for our line. Abomaston in the next one, horrible lead scenario, but at the same time we cannot switch out because the Pancake is also getting gold by this Pokemon. At least we can always bait for a Shadow Ball, so I'm just gonna overfarm here. Perhaps I could throw and not sacrifice 2 shields that early in the game, and now I will go for the Shadow Ball for big damage on that Talonflame on the switch, but they end up shielding it up, so that was a waste of energy and I totally misplayed this. Should have gone for the bait much earlier on the Abomasnow. Let's get now to the discharge for big damage, and the Talonflame will go out of existence, but they decide to stay in, so I can have the chance to nuke them down once again. Discharge this time is gonna take out the Talonflame, they are out of shields, and we can still pressure for another discharge for not lethal damage, but still it is gonna put that Abomasnow in a very good range of HP in order to farm me down with ease with my Toxapex. At the back they end up having a Lantern, which is pretty cool news for my Trevenant, and all we have to do is to finish them off with a potential Seed Bomb, but they end up taking us out because we were super low on HP. At this point even a Thunderbolt can be taken, but still it's gonna put us very low that perhaps the Abomasnow can finish us off, but guess what, we can still survive and reach to the Brine for the knockout against the Lantern, and we're super close to another Brine to finish off the Abomasnow before they reach the move, so that extra farm on the Lantern was the key scenario for us to get that victory. So Shadow Zapdos is an immense threat for the meta, and against Revenant it always has the upper hand. Just remember that I am the Zapdos king and I know how to play this matchup, so I'm just gonna get here to that Seed Bomb, and most Zapdoses do not have optimal IVs like mine has 0, 13, 14, so I'm just gonna go ahead, land this Seed Bomb, and then they cannot reach to a move, so that was towards my favor for sure. So Abomasnow here is able to finish me off. That was a bummer, but still we can have the upper hand, but it all depends on the final Pokemon, which ends up being something like Cradily, and at this point I will try to catch a move, hopefully the Stone Edge, but it seems like they overfarmed here and they know what to throw. It is gonna be the Grass Knot, and now we're gonna throw the Mud Bomb. Yeah, they passed through a move, horrible play by my part, but still we can pressure a lot with another Mud Bomb, so they have to throw. My Toxapex is gonna be on a very good spot now, because not only can take the hits, but also it will farm down and get out of here with a decent amount of energy. So down goes the Cradily, we spend our shield, but we are still super high on HP, and I'm just gonna throw that Brine, because I know that if they take it, it is still over for them, because that will just make it much better and easier for me to farm them down, and even if they shielded well, the Sludge Wave could not be avoided for them, so it was a checkmate already with my Toxapex. So into the next one, and this is a battle that I made a mistake. I went into Great League instead of Color Cup, so let's see how this mistake is gonna unfold, because I already told you that I made one loss in my amazing win streak, and I had 14 wins in a row, while that loss was pretty weird to observe. So here is now the Sludge Wave. Gonna connect on that Umbreon, and as soon as I saw the Umbreon I understood that I made a very nice mistake that my opponent is gonna appreciate. So Toxapex here up against that Umbreon, I'm pretty glad that I'm gonna use, because on the open meta you have a lot of counters, something like a Bastiodon, something like Galarian Stunfisk, a lot of threats for that Toxapex. So at the back they return with that Jellicent, so yeah, that was a lead Pokemon, able to get now to the Shadow Ball to one-shot it down. What do you have at the back, trainer? This is gonna be just the Umbreon, we're just gonna keep pressuring with our Pokemon, and now the Unova Stunfisk is gonna go to town with that battle, because it is gonna protect our Trevenant and still gonna be able to finish off the Umbreon. I know what you're saying, Ganeto, that Umbreon was switch locked with you, they could not get anywhere, so you could farm easily even more energy, but I did not want to. I just want this battle to end as soon as possible, and at the back they end up having a Medicham, so yeah, the Trevenant is just gonna do severe work up against them, and I think we just pulled off a win in Great League pretty easily with this line, so we're just gonna block the next move. No reason to go with no shield here, because we can still farm down this Pokemon and grab this amazing victory for us. Against Shiftry, well, that's a tricky one because you cannot switch out since you got Stunfisk at the back, and your only answer is gonna be your Toxapex. So at this point, what I always decide to do, is to go ahead, charge up to a Shadow Ball, and then throw those Seed Bombs, and I want to see how they respond. If they take both of the Seed Bombs, is absolutely fine. If they take one, well, then we can try and catch on the Toxapex, and at this point they are super low that even a Mud Bomb or a Discharge might just do the trick towards the end of the game. They respond with a Toxapex on the mirror. Well, if I were them, I would not do that because they might be having the upper hand here, but still, this is gonna take a while to unfold. This is like hitting a wall with your own wall, not even with your own hands. It will make no sense at all. So it is like the Basildon mirror match on the Great League. Yeah, you do not like this one. The odds are not on your favor. So down we go, and yeah, we stalled a bit too long here, so Trevor now can go in. Our switch timers are back up, so now we're having the Seed Bomb able to finish off this Trevenant while we keep our Stunfisk hidden. They are not gonna overfarm, just gonna go straight for the move, so we have to respect the damage and shield here. I want to see what lies at the back and have my Trevenant a little bit too alive, but they end up having a Victini, and Victini with a shield can always be super good for any trainer, especially if your opponent has non-shields in play. So Psychic here, a pretty smart move, and I was hoping that I could press my Mud Bomb with a CMP, but this is not gonna happen. So right here, they're gonna reach to the V-Create. Can we outspeed to the next move? No, we cannot. Another V-Create to finish us off, and even if we had the move ready to go here, we would just lose the CMP, I believe, so it's all good. Aboma Snow in the next one, a very bad lead, and what you saw before, well, that was my only loss on the 15 battle streak that I had. Shadow Aboma Snow is even trickier than Shiftry because those Powder Snows are doing a lot of work, so even if I shield for a second time, that I think I will do here, we're still gonna go down right after to those Powder Snows, so they can definitely get out of this battle with a lot of energy. So Shadow Ball here is gonna be from my end, but they end up shielding it, so that was a pretty cool play for them, and at this point I will try to go ahead with my Toxapex and try to completely farm down. I believe that with that Pokemon out of the way, perhaps now my Stunfisk will be much safer for the end game, and it seems like it because they have a Pelipper at the back and a freaking Electrode from Kanto, which means that we can grab this victory. So that is gonna wrap things up for an amazing video with a pretty meta-relevant team. Thank you for watching, trainers. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and if you want to support even more, well, joining as a member can always help with that matter. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers!